What is up, guys? Welcome to another video, and today we're going to be talking about the drift spec in the Crew Wild Run. So as you guys know, the Crew Wild Run beta is currently running, and I have some tips talking about the drift spec in the game. Just talking about how you can get the most of it, how you can actually get some of the best drifts, and how you can make the most in the actual drifting mode, and that's in terms of actually getting points. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. Okay, so drift spec, it kind of says it in the name, it's born to go sideways. That is what this spec is all about. It's part of the extreme specs that have been released as part of the Wild Run DLC, and the whole aim of the drift spec, like I just said, is to go sideways, to get around those corners, to accumulate as much points as possible in the drift races. Now, there's really only a few little tips I can give, but I think it will help quite significantly. So number one is make sure that you always go into the corners at the right speed and at the right angle. If you go in with, not enough speed, you're not going to get around the corner properly. But at the same time, with that being said, if you go in with too much speed, you're going to go off the track and it's not going to be a good day. So make sure you go in with the right amount of speed and the right angle. Also, keep in mind that your overall aim with the drifting events especially is to keep it going. So definitely use your NOS if you can in some certain situations. I've found that NOS really helps to extend drifts, and it's kind of underused, so definitely use your NOS when you're drifting. The next one is mainly for the actual drifting event. So the drifting events, what you want to do is you want to take the corners wide, and you want to take wide sweeping corners essentially. What that will do is it will allow you to get more points, because obviously you're covering more ground, and the more ground you cover sideways, the higher multiplier you're going to get, the higher score you're going to get, and obviously the whole aim in the drift mode is to get a higher multiplier and to get a higher score overall. So, long sweeping corners are what you're aiming for. If it's a tight track that you're on, so maybe you're watching this after the beta and you're watching it on a tight track, it still applies. Try and make the most of the track. Use the whole of the track to your advantage. So make sure it's as wide and as sweeping as possible, so you can get the most out of the track and the most points generally, on that specific race. Okay, so the next tip I have, it's kind of obvious, to be honest, and that's obviously practice makes perfect. If you go to Yosemite and pick the area I started in here in the video you can see now, it's a really good track to practice on. You got the uphill and the downhill, so make sure you make the most of it. Get a few friends on there, maybe do some drift battles, and just get used to it. It's going to take a while to get used to, just like anything else. But once you do get used to it and you get the hang of it and you really master the whole aspect of drifting, you can probably do really well. It just takes a lot of practice, a lot of effort, and you'll eventually get there. And my final tip of the day is brake drifting. Now, for me personally, this is what I've noticed is the best type of drifting. So you can either go into the corners using NOS, which can be unreliable, but it's kind of a last case measure. Use it as much as you can, but at the same time, don't overuse it, because that NOS is going to come really handy when you're coming out of corners and accelerating at speed. But the best type of drifting that I have found out is brake drifting. So as you're going into corners, push the left stick to the side, brake a bit. If you need to, let go off the throttle and put the throttle back on. Throttle control is a very important aspect of drifting in the Crew. So, throttle control, make sure that you go in and you brake drift, and try control it with the stick. You're going to need to counter steer a bit, and that's kind of to be expected. But, that is the best way of drifting. That's the best way to combine both traction and speed at the same time, to control your drift and get the most points, as well as just pull off an absolutely amazing drift. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a drifting god. I think that's pretty apparent. I mean, it may seem like it because of the gameplay I showed, but just look at this. I crashed a lot, and it took me a lot of practice. So again, practice makes perfect. If you guys have any tips which I didn't really mention in today's video, make sure to leave it down in the comments down below. Again, it really just does take a lot of getting used to, and eventually you'll get used to it. But it's hard. It is very hard, initially at least. But as soon as you get used to it, you get in the swing of things, it all works out for you, trust me. So, yeah, like I said, if you have any tips that I didn't really mention in today's video, leave it down in the comments down below. I'm going to be streaming, so if you're watching this video on the day it's released, make sure to go ahead and check my Twitch channel down below. And I mean, even if you're not watching this on the day of release, just go ahead and check the Twitch, because you'll obviously get notifications if you follow of when I go live. I don't stream too often, so I guess it's kind of a special event. Anyway, I'm rambling. I'm going to end the video. If you guys enjoyed, hit the like, subscribe. I will see you guys in the next video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys later. Stay safe, guys, and peace.